What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the GGBL. Trade day is finalized, and I have to tell you guys, every trade went through except for one. So let me zoom in real quick, and I'll show you just which trades went through. Houston and Vegas's trade had 86% yes votes, 90% for Satchel Michaels going over to Miami. And this is the only one that didn't pass. This one actually had more no votes than yes votes. And I was kind of surprised by that one. I thought that CC Chavez, going to be regressing here for Colorado. He'd be a nice fit for LA. And apparently there must have been just way too much LA hate in order for that trade to pass. So that is one that did not go. Michigan's trade ended up getting 60% on the nose, 40% no votes. So that one will have to pass. San Diego does acquire Kevin Dixon. That one's going to go through 70%. Wisconsin's going to get Reagan Landish at 90%. 90% here for Alexander King going to Kansas City. And this is the highest one that passed. Only one no vote for Seattle acquiring Avante Duckworth. That's kind of crazy. And then Richmond is going to get Lorenzo Zanetti. So yes, I do get my boy, my custom pitcher for the Richmond Good Boys. I'm excited to see how that's going to all pan out, but we did have to give up a pretty penny to go get a player like that. I feel like we might have overpaid to get Lorenzo Zanetti, but we're going to try to make another push at getting to a Gold Series yet again. Hopefully this is the year. So I'm going to go ahead and make those trades get processed, and as you guys know, with CPU roster control, you actually cannot even do like trades. So even if I wanted to go to trade talks and actually move people over for, offering a deal, it says it's going to go through. You can offer this trade, and I'd have to log in as the Swamp Monsters and see if that I don't even know where that trade shows up, but either way, we will end up going to CPU roster control. And let's go over to Richmond. I'm just showing you guys how I'm doing this just for full transparency. So we got to go over to New Orleans, and we have to acquire Lorenzo Zanetti, and he's going to come over for Miguel Figueroa, George Peralta, and LeVar Rowe. So Peralta, I know, is a 80 overall, but he's a third baseman. So the game only wants you to do position for position. So we got to find Figueroa. I believe he's like a 74. And there he is right there. So top 50 pitcher for Lorenzo Zanetti. And there is Zanetti as a Richmond Good Boy. So now what I got to do is I got to get Peralta over there to New Orleans. So how this is going to work, because it's got to be 1-for-1, I'm actually going to acquire like a guy, not that guy, he's too good. Let's do like Humberto Cuevas, 25C. Maybe there's another player here, like a D potential player somewhere. Yeah, so we'll have, this guy, perfect. Pete Cabral, 35 years old, 68 overall. C potential. I'm not even going to call him up. That's just not going to happen. He's got a lot of power. He would be great for a playoff run, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to cheese the system. So there's Peralta. Cabral will get called down, and then we're going to have to move LeVar Rowe for something similar. And I think we had something. Nope, Felsch is not a guy. Let's see, Cuevas. Yeah, you could do Cuevas, catcher for catcher. And Cuevas is just one of those dudes, 25C, not really going to pan out to be anything super special. But yeah, so that's how that's going to work, and I'll end up doing that for every single team. And I'll let you guys know how the rosters will shake out and reshape up. And then we'll do a little sim here for the month of August. We'll do a August sim, and then we'll get to about the mid-month of September, and we'll see how that's all going to pan out for teams that made all these trades. Did the trades work for them? Did they not? How the players performing since they've been traded? It'd be kind of nice to know, and who's going to make the postseason. All right, trades are completed. Let's take a look real quick at the lineups just to see how things are shaking out now that the new additions have come on board. So Tyron Rex going to be plopped into the 3-hole. Right behind him, Chad Presley, Joey Bing, Rubio Moya, Baldrick Raynell. Pretty good lineup here for Houston. It's all kind of rounded out now. You got Kai Rico with those 90-plus contact ratings. Jay Kinney in the number 2, and then Tyron Rex in the number 3. So that's going to be a pretty formidable lineup. Of course, their pitching rotation, now that they have left Boyd Rush to Las Vegas, it's still a pretty good staff. I like it. Obviously, when you have Boyd Rush in there, makes it a little bit more complete, I guess, but it's still looking pretty good. You got Escobar, Murillo, Montalvo, Derek Sparks, although he's not been having a very good year at 6.71. And they did call up Javon Rockwell. He had a pretty rough go of it last season as a starter. Actually, a reliever. And he's going to get another try here. They don't really have any other options, you know. They did call up Takaru Aranoku down from the minor leagues. Showed some nice progression. 21C from Japan. And he's going to be one of those bullpen arms for Houston. So, yeah, I'm not going to go over every single team, but just to show you kind of what each team is now looking like. Of course, we got to always take a look at the Richmond Good Boys, see how that's all shaken out. So now we have Fukumori, Zanetti. Kern is having himself an incredible year. It's just really surprising to me. Darren Kern, of all people, like, look at what his makeup is. 87 mile an hour two-seam change and slider. Like, where did this even come from? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. He's been a winning pitcher for the majority of his career. I mean, and he's been a starter for the majority of his career. So I don't know. He's just good. Van Montgomery, the rookie, not terrible, but it could be a lot better. And then Rich Norman ends up pushing out Humberto Feliz into bullpen duty, plus Jonathan Piazza moving to bullpen duty as well. So it's kind of a demotion here for Piazza. Had a really nice run, and then last year went sub 500 in record. Had his best year as far as ERA is concerned outside of season 1. So, yeah, 25 years old, B potential player, down to 78 overall. He's giving way for guys like Van Montgomery, Darren Kern, and Norman. So these guys have won jobs. Humberto Feliz has taken the demotion nicely. This is just kind of the pitcher that he is, though. And so it might make a lot more sense to use him in a flex position there as a long reliever. So that's how Richmond's shaken out. And pretty interesting, too, with the change here in the lineup. You got Gonzalez leading off. Hoberman's up to the number 2 spot with Kingston Mondesir hitting in the 3 hole. That's interesting to me. I don't really understand it, but I'm going to go with it with the CPU in control of that. We did call up Marshall Johnson. He was having a pretty good season down at the AAA level, so we're going to give him a shot, and that's really what Richmond's kind of looking like. One other team that was interesting to me was Miami, with Satchel Michaels coming aboard. Sitting 204 in Colorado. You're hoping that now in Miami that's going to actually play a little bit better with his offense, maybe a little bit more sound of a lineup, a little more power behind him too with Cabrera and Weeks, Shartner. Maybe this offense can kind of kick it into high gear now with Michaels at the DH spot. And then the rotation, he's your lead guy. So you got Battle, Rick White, Michaels. Actually, I think I'm going to probably switch this up a little bit because I did kind of say in the last video how Satchel should probably be kind of like sandwiched in between some of these pitchers here in the rotation. The 93 overall, it takes a lot into account the complete player, not so much the pitcher per se, right? He's a 93 here and he's a 93 over in the lineup. So he is a 93 overall as a two-way player, but looking at his numbers here, that's probably more in line with his offense versus his pitching. Obviously, the numbers in-game are very good. The velo, the control, the break, those are all great, but homers per 9, walks per 9. Walks per 9 is pretty good. Hits per 9 is really good. K per 9 is one of the best in the game, so his sim stats should show that out. Does have 124 strikeouts. He should eclipse that this season, I would think. He's got a whole entire month, actually 2 months left to play. So, and only 33 walks. It's just he's really getting bit by the long ball. 21 home runs so far, given up on the season. So anyway, just kind of, again, just looking at each one of these teams and kind of what the new look lineup is going to look like, and the feel and the pitching staff and whatnot. But all the trades have been processed, and we are ready to go. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and start simming it up. And we will end up simming past the signing draft picks stage and take a real quick look at how things went here for the draft. And I got to say, man, I'm a little disappointed. In fact, I'm majorly disappointed. Honestly, these were two good draft picks, Jeff Solis and James Sy, 18 and 19 years old. But this was absolutely brutal. We took Philip Walsh, 70 actual potential. He was scouted as an 87 to 99 potential. He was 100% scouted. I mean, this is brutal. I had one job. It was to trust my scouts, and they failed us. They failed us big time. Man, oh man. You know, it's funny. Going through, we didn't have any custom players this time around. But whenever Richmond does get their draft pick to pop up, I like to make the pick. And now that I was in control of this, yeah, Philip Walsh, he's gonna play like a 70 overall player. Yeah, that's the potential rating. He's got a lot of work to do, man. And at 20 years old, he better kick it into high gear. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, Jeff Solis has got some work to do too. It doesn't look like he's gonna be much of a hitter. And yeah, neither does anybody here. So it's not a very good draft. Not a very good draft. Kind of scrolling through here real quick, just kind of eyeballing any superstar players. Rex Zimmer, an 89 potential. So that was a player that I was thinking about going out to grab. Nigel Flood, 87 potential. Ooh, Owen Stein, 94 potential for the Seattle Emeralds. Pablo De La Cruz, 88 potential. He's got some work to do. Ronaldo Huber, 85. Ooh, 95 potential here. Federico Perez, 95 potential second baseman. 92 potential here for Luis Armas. So I'm just kind of getting you guys a little familiar with the players up on the board, because it is important, because we're going to see these guys eventually. And these are all CPU dudes anyway. Remember, all of the 18-year-olds will be up for your guys' renames. So if you want to use channel points to buy these players, you can. Patrons and YouTube channel members, they do get first crack at that. So just FYI there. I still haven't seen like a superstar player, you know? We're getting some good potential ratings here, but I have not seen a superstar caliber player quite yet. And I might be missing some people here. Maybe not. Eric Armstrong might be pretty good. He's got some really good tools to build. That 78 contact with the vision, that looks pretty good. Iowa, decent draft. Not going to say that they had a crazy good draft. Another 92 A potential here at the bottom of the draft. Still, yet again, I'm not seeing anything here. Vegas had a decent draft, good potential ratings at the top, but that right there, that kind of cost them a lot of deep potentials there. Yeah, nothing really to write home about. Stuart Phillips, a potential, got a lot of speed. Here's a good one here. Gus Dodson, 71 overall, B potential. Yeah, I don't know. We comparatively, like, we had a pretty decent draft, but that one really hurt. How do you see 87 and 99 scouted potential, and he's actually a C? Like, I don't know how that works, but okay. So that is it for the draft class reveal. Let's now go ahead and keep on simming. Let's keep going. Yeah, we're gonna get a couple instances of that. So Richmond keeps on winning here. Man, a lot of wins, a lot of losses there towards the end. Phoenix, we're going to lose that series. And now we're in the month of September. So let's see how everything's looking, guys. We're 75 and 59. That's good for first place. Let's go. Except we're 2-8 in our last 10, but so are the Moonshots. They're 4 games behind us. Firebirds still hanging on to first place. The Nuggets still playing well at 71 and 63. Of course, the Coyotes are way down there. Bandits continue to struggle. And so really nothing's changed. The Maples here at 77 and 58. Cardinals chasing them at 3.5 back. We'll take a look at the wild card here in a moment. Mallards, Swamp Monsters, nothing's changed there. Mallards are one of the best teams in the GGBL. The Maples are as well. 79 wins right now for that team. So yeah, they're continuing to show why they are the first ranked team across the GGBL. Let's head out to the NL West here. They got the Gauchos. Wow, so the moves that the Gauchos made are really helping them. They're 9-1 in their last 10. Emeralds, we'll kind of see what their schedule's been looking like here, because that's interesting with a little bit of a fall off there. Yes, they're still 8 games above 500, but I want to see how the month of September looked for them. Kind of playing a little 500 ball there the first 2 weeks. Got on a big losing number there. Only had 2 wins, 3 wins on the week, 4 wins in 2 weeks if you count this little section here from the 6th to the 13th. Only 3 wins in that 2-week span, so they got really cold. Beat Phoenix in a 2-game set. Lost to Nashville 3-1 in that series. That hurt. But then you turn the table over here to not Wisconsin, San Diego. Look at how many games that they were winning, man. They got hot. They got really hot. Let's take a quick look here and see what's up. So in the month of August, let's see, Scott Mesa. Okay, AA. I want to see more of the output here. So Kevin Dixon, that was a really good addition, by the way. I think this is what might get them a little further in the postseason, further than they've ever been. They might just make it all the way to the Gold Series. They might be my dark horse team. 305, 23 bombs. He's hot right now, having a career year. That's what I'm noticing. Career year. We still got another month left to play. He could get 6 more home runs. He could get to 30. He could have 7 more. Could probably tie his career high at 29. That would be huge for him. Cornelius Kane kind of struggling still at 229, but Connor Murphy at 287. Estrella's been good. We saw him on opening day. Sturridge, I called him out on his play. I said he wasn't very good. He was about like a 180 something. He wasn't doing very well, but now he's up to 205. So he's gotten kind of on a little hot streak there. Jeremy Floyd, since the move now over to third base, he's now up to 257. So that's been helpful. Vandenboom up to 265 with 20 home runs. That should be he's getting there. He might get 6 more home runs. Maybe not, though. 103 games played. Carson Willard, I kind of expected Carson Willard to take the next step here at some point. You know, he's been just a very consistent, solid player. Let's see, Gatsby Grimm still kind of, ouch. More walks than strikeouts. Yowza. So that one's pretty painful. Let's take one more look here at Seattle real quick. I do want to kind of see Shevchuk's been awesome. 11-6, 137 strikeouts. Steve Morgan's been solid. Hemingway's been good. So the pitching. That's been the name of the game here for Seattle. The bullpen, actually, comparatively, across the league. Like I'm used to like seeing 5, 6 ERAs, but the bullpen here for Seattle looking really good. Let's see. We got Richie Williamson. He should probably get the call up. I'm going to leave that to the CPU, though. Gabriel Oakes, 193 and 301 at-bats. You got somebody coming up the rear, man. You better watch out. Richie Williamson's coming to take your job. 300 batting average there for Clayton Hall. Duckworth, 263, 21 homers. So he has been a help. He's been a help. Or has he, right? Because they have, ever since they acquired him, they've been kind of going a little 500 here. It'll be interesting to see how that's going to play out for the rest of the year in the final month of play. The Copperheads have fallen off. You know, that sucks for them because they went out, they acquired themselves Tyron Rex, and they were hoping that this was going to lead to some big things. He's still hitting over 300 at 302. I don't actually remember how well he was hitting with Las Vegas, but he's seeing a little regression there in the vision and -1 in the power. Raynell's got almost 400 at-bats and a 198 batting average, so I don't really know what's going on with that. Those contact numbers are not terrible, but for whatever reason, the show just doesn't like Baldrick Raynell right now. I think the pitching staff took a hit. Yeah. Yeah, it did. 13 innings for Javon Rockwell on a 16.6. What is that? A 3.15 whip? Why does this guy suck so hard? 8 homers, 11 walks given up, and 15 strikeouts. That is not good. That is not good. They might need to make a change here. I think probably what needs to happen. And he's got a 91 K per 9. I think it's hits per 9, a walk per 9. So let's just do this. Let's go ahead and put Colligan on the 40-man. We can't do that. We have a full 40-man. Okay, let's just do this. This is why... Oh, I can't do CPU roster control now. What happened? I guess you can't do it. What is this? Player search. I guess they don't let you do CPU roster control. That's weird to me. Huh. They got rid of that? Is it a glitch? There used to be CPU roster control in September, so you could do September call-ups, but yeah, I think what we're gonna do, and let me do this off screen. We gotta make the right call for them. I think Rockwell's got to get moved to the bullpen or something, and Colligan's gonna get the call up here. Actually, yeah. See, that's goofy. Like, we're in September. Like, I should be able to call him up, but I guess you need to set any. You need to go after people on your 40-man. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's Solomon Finn. Maybe it's Jeff Poole. Either way, I'll make a decision here for Houston. You know, they're only 2 games out. And somehow, look, whoa, the Mighty Beavers. What is going on there? I totally missed their little push here. What are they doing? 2 games back. What did they do in the month of August here? They swept Houston. They beat up on LA 3-1. They won the series against Seattle. They won the series against Chicago. They won the series against Pittsburgh. Got swept by Washington, but they did win the series in Atlanta. So they're just winning series. Get themselves closer and closer to 500. This is a huge month of September for them. They got to take on really good teams in Michigan. They're duking it out here with San Francisco. They got to take on Seattle. They got to try to beat up on Kansas City. Again, San Francisco again. So, San Diego. This is a really difficult schedule for the Vancouver Mighty Beavers. So, I'm not saying that, that they've got a shot, but this is a 5th-ranked team. I've been waiting for them to show up. I think a lot of us have in a few seasons, and they just haven't really done it, haven't put it together. And, man, this NL West is getting really, really tight. Let's take a look at that wild card setting again. So you got the Mighty Beavers, the Knights, the Emeralds. So 3 teams out of the 5 are within striking distance of the NL wild card. Even the Grizzlies. So all 5 teams are vying for the postseason, even though they're a little under 500 right now, like the Grizzlies and Mighty Beavers. They're still 2.5 games out. So how about this guy, Shea? I'm going to say it's Jakobsen. Not a lot of K per 9, but the hits, walks, and homers. I think he's valuable. I'm going to call him up. Let's add a little bit extra power here for Marco Camacho. And then there's your 28-man right there. All right, so it looks like Vancouver really struggled. They didn't get it done. They are pretty much effectively eliminated at this point. Let's see where they're at here. Yep, they're in last place, 12.5 back. Gauchos continue to do well, 83-66. Emeralds at 78 wins, and the Grizzlies have come up from all the way back to 10 games back from the Gauchos. I don't think they're going to catch them, but they're 1.5 back from the wild card. And the Sun Sox have come out of nowhere as well. The Sun Sox, unbelievable. Moonshots, whoa, the Moonshots. Let's take a look at the Moonshots. We have to. How did they do here in the month of September and even August? They kind of were losing a little bit of cabin pressure there towards the end of August, but it sounds like they've gotten really hot in the month of September. So I'm curious now to see how Satchel Michaels is doing. He's up to 30 bombs. The batting average is higher too. This is a perfect move. I think he was in the 200s. Now he's up to 233 with 30 bombs. Sparbore's doing well. Banks, Stacey Hayward up to 12 homers, 290. Von Dietrich at 294. Man, look at, okay, so the moonshots. That's the missing piece that they needed. That's awesome to see that. How about the pitching numbers for Michaels? I don't know if that lowered or not. He's seen a little bit of regression in the hits per 9. That might be just, again, based on the whip, but I don't remember exactly what those numbers looked like for him before he was traded. But the Sun Sox, let's take a look at those guys. So the 3-game winning streak over Atlanta, won the series over San Diego. They won the series, actually they swept the series against Houston. And then, oh, look at the month of August. We didn't even really pay attention to them. Huge winning streak right here. Carolina, 4-game sweep. Minnesota won the series. They beat Michigan in a 2-game set. They swept the Blue Sox. Won the series against San Francisco. Swept Oklahoma City. This team, oh man, they might be up to something special here too. They're only a game back as well. That's crazy. What are they up to here? Cesar Borges up to a 90. Drew Reed. So I think they're bringing these numbers down because there's no way that they can be on such a hot streak if they've got these types of numbers here. Stafford's over a 5. Matson's over a 5. Reed's over a 6. Like, there's got to be a reason for this. Cristobal Padilla, .39 and a .96 in 23 innings. So he's definitely a reliever. Martin Tate, 4.86. Yeah, dude. Like, guys, I think the Sun Sox just might make it. I might be giving them the kiss of death, though. Josh Adams up to a 291. That's a career year for him. It's looking like, anyway. The most RBIs he's ever had. Best batting average and OBP he's ever had. So it's finally happening here for Josh Adams. 8 years of GGBL service. Mikey Porter was a big addition for them. Adding to the power, 26 homers. Ryan Berner's now doing better. He's up to 27 bombs, so he's looking to hit 28, have the most homers of his career. We get more RBIs. Best batting average he's had. So the Sun Sox they've acquired some guys that are finally breaking out, right? They're reaching that age 28 season, and they're busting out. Marshall Langston, a little disappointed in my boy here, Marshall Langston. Does have a career year in triples, and he's on his way to have a career year in doubles and homers. Got to cut down on the strikeouts a little bit. He's trending in a bad way there. Not a lot of stolen bases, so I don't really know what's going on with that. But Marshall, he lost a ton of points in speed there, -6. What's going on there, buddy? Don't like it. But Cash Fortuna, 23 bombs. So really what I'm looking at here with the Sun Sox is the pitching has turned it around, and they're hitting a lot of home runs. So that's kind of the name of their game right now. So we'll have to see how that's going to play for them in the next couple of games. The Nuggets, I look at that trade. Let's look at the NL Central if we can. Where are the Copperheads at? Did they totally... Yeah, they acquired Tyron Rex, and they're just not even... It's 4 games. I mean, they're pretty much toast at this point. 4 games. So Las Vegas looks like they won the trade. Las Vegas looks like they won the trade by acquiring Boyd Rush, the starting pitcher. He's on a hot streak. Look at those numbers. 19-6 with a 3.38 and a 1.30. And then getting those extra outfielders, Krausley Katz, Waylon Stacy. It was a nice little 1-2 punch there for the Las Vegas Nuggets. So, man, got to feel bad for Houston getting a player like Tyron Rex, and he wanted out. Tyron Rex wanted out so bad he could taste it. Organization said, okay, fine. And they're going to make the postseason by the looks of it here. Unless the Cyclones somehow come up behind them at 3.5 games. Could happen. There's about 2 more weeks left in the season, but looks like the Nuggets, Cardinals, and Swamp Monsters will make it. Jacks look like they're eliminated. Coyotes look like they're done. I mean, yeah, 9 games. Elimination number is 6. But Cyclones, they look like they could make a little bit of noise there. The Maples. Maples are interesting, man. Let's see how Reagan Landish is doing. He's up to a 4.58. I feel like that number came down. Bembe Pacheco got the call up here. He's now up to an 81, but he's had some struggles there as a rookie. Pennington's been solid. Mackenzie Worth has been solid. Got to cut down on the walks. But a lot of these guys are bullpen guys anyway. And let's see. Anything else here? Juan Chavez hitting over 300. William Koo got the call up there from the minors. It's kind of crazy to think about with 95 vision. He's hitting 221. It's kind of weird. But what isn't with MLB The Show? And yeah, Roger Cortez, 23 bombs, 295. Dominic Coe, 258. So they're still missing some pieces there on offense, I feel like. You know, Aiden Oliver, Jimbo, and Gonzalez has been pretty solid. Matt Justice has been good with 31 homers, but they're just missing, I think, one more piece on offense, and they would be really good. But, yeah, I mean, 85 wins, one of the best in the GGBL right now. Monarchs, Firebirds, yeah, so it seems like the Mallards and the Monarchs are the 2 best teams in the GGBL right now. So with that, let's go ahead and do the sim. And isn't it kind of funny? I was just talking about how it's going to come down to late in the season, and it's going to be Orlando, right? It's going to be Miami taking down Richmond. Oh, here we go. All right, let's get to this series right here. So we have one series left basically. So hopefully all teams, we can get to a good point here. Oof. So we do win the series against the Moonshots, but look at what they've done. They're 87-72. We're 88-71. Orlando, they're 3 games above 500. So wow, so much has changed for them. They've completely changed their season, turned their season around. How else are the other standings looking here? So the good boys are in. We have not won the division yet. That's still up for grabs. Sun Sox are trying their hardest to make the postseason, right? So the Moonshots, all they got to do is just take care of business there against the New Orleans Swing. That's who they're taking it on. So good boys still in first place. Monarchs have won their division. The Swing! Oh my God! The Swing! Are you kidding me? Richmond, we helped them. We helped them. Get rid of Lorenzo Zanetti. Here's some more offensive pieces. You take those guys. We helped them out, man. 79-80. They're 9-1 in their last 10. They might make the postseason. Copperheads, 3 games under 500. The Gauchos have clinched their division. The Emeralds look like they're in, but with 3 games left, the Knights could be right on their tail in the wild card. So let's take a look here. So Moonshots have clinched. They are a wild card team. Emeralds, Sun Sox, Swing are 2 games back with 3 games left to play. Holy crap. They went 9-1 in order just to get to this point. Are we going to see the Swing pull a Colorado Coyotes or OKC Cyclones? Where they just come out of nowhere? Make it all the way? I don't know. We could. The Copperheads, they're 3 games back with 3 games left to play. And their elimination number is 1. So basically, they have to win all 3 games, and they have to have one, probably the Sun Sox. They have to have the Sun Sox lose all 3 of their games. If the Sun Sox win one more time, they're done. Because they just can't get to 82 wins. That's their elimination number. So the Knights, the Swing, Sun Sox, and Emeralds. The NL is not set quite yet. On the AL side, the Pizzazz have won 6 games in a row. They're not anywhere near sniffing postseason contention, but you do have the Mallards winning 93 games. They've clinched that division. Swamp Monsters at 86 wins. The Cardinals have come up to overthrow Wisconsin. Wisconsin's held on to that division all season long, but they've lost 4 games in a row. Still up for grabs. 3 games left. They're currently tied, so that division is yet to be decided. The Nuggets, 85 and 74, and the Cyclones. I thought the Cyclones were dead, to be honest with you. I thought they were done. But isn't this kind of funny? The Coyotes, who sold off all of their pieces, their big pieces, are better right now than the Bandits are. The Bandits, who went all in to acquire KJ and James Monroe, and they can't finish above 500. In fact, they are finishing in last place in the AL West. That just shows you how crazy that is. So this could change. Cardinals and Maples, right? So they're, again, duking it out for the AL Central division, which basically bumps up the Swamp Monsters to the number 2 spot in the wild card, and probably the Nuggets as the number 3. So Maples, Cardinals still duking it out, so that's kind of misleading a little bit. Nuggets are in as of right now, but the Cyclones 2 games back. So basically it's going to come down to the Cyclones and Nuggets, or even the Swamp Monsters start losing some games there. So with 3 games left, I do want to simulate this game right here on the 29th, because I feel like if we can get 2 games left, we can get game 161, game 162. We can do all that over the weekend. I think that'd be a pretty good spot. So let's go ahead and simulate this day. Richmond will lose to Orlando 8-10. Miami loses to New Orleans. New Orleans is 500. They're 80 and 80. Oh my God. They could do it. They could do it. Good Boys and Moonshots, they are still duking that out. Elimination number for the Moonshots is 2 for the division. I cannot believe this. The Swing. The Swing are 80 and 80. Unbelievable. Emeralds, Sun Sox, they got a win in their last game, so they're on a 2-game winning streak. So the Swing need to win the next 2 games. They need the Emeralds to lose both games, and they need the Sun Sox to lose both games. So the Swing need more help from Richmond. They're thankful for the players that they got, but they need more help from Richmond to take out the Sun Sox over these next 2 games. Games 161 and games 162. So the NL is not set by any means. The Knights have been eliminated, the Grizzlies have been eliminated, and the Copperheads have been eliminated. So all of that buy-in from Houston, and it didn't work out for them. In fact, it actually helped out the Nuggets by getting rid of a guy like Tyron Rex, which is kind of crazy to say, but that's the way it worked out. So Maples currently, they're on a 5-game losing streak, so they are losing cabin pressure here. The Cardinals are in sole possession of first place right now. 2 games left, so a lot can happen there still for the division. But right now, Maples are your wild card team number 1, Swamp Monsters wild card team number 2. And like I said, it is being duked out between the Nuggets and the Cyclones here for wildcard spot number 3. So if you're a Nuggets fan and you're hoping that trade helped you out, it's gotten you to this point. So now all you got to do is you just got to finish the job. So what we'll do here for game 161 on Saturday night, we'll take a look at the Emeralds game here first. James Monroe against Shubchuck. So we got Emeralds Bandits. If the Emeralds win, they're in. There's no way that they could be caught by the Swing, who have an elimination number of 1. So if the Emeralds can get a victory, Shevchuk's got to step up big time, get that win on game 161, they're in with 83 wins. Then we'll watch the Sun Sox and the Good Boys. Richmond, of course, trying to stave off the little push here by the Moonshots, try to catch them in the NL East division standing. Sun Sox get a victory over Richmond. They've punched their ticket into the postseason as well. So really, 2 games on Saturday night, we could pretty much solve the NL wild card right then and there. That would effectively eliminate the Swing. So it doesn't even matter if we watched a Swing game or not for game 161. So we'll watch these 2 games first, Sun Sox and Emeralds. If those 2 teams clinch, then we know what the NL wild card looks like. So the NL is kind of a wacky scenario right now. But again, we will just go ahead and go step by step, and we'll figure out all the ifs, ands, and buts in the scenarios a little bit later on in the night. But Sun Sox Emeralds will be the first 2 games that we watch on Saturday night, and we'll kind of figure out what's happening there on the other side. Now, for the AL side, you've got the Mallards winning their division, the Cardinals and Maples still duking it out, Firebirds winning their division, and again, Maples and Cardinals still kind of the same situation as the NL East, where you've got the loser of that division, or second place, is going to be wild card team number 1. Again, I guess Swamp Monsters could end up getting wild card team number 1 as well, but no matter what, the loser of the AL Central will be in the wild card. So basically, you've already got the first 2 teams figured out. It's really coming down here to the Nuggets and the Cyclones. So let's see again what that schedule looks like for the Nuggets and the Cyclones. So we actually have the Nuggets playing the Cyclones. Look at that. Wow, you couldn't make that up. So Vegas OKC, they're going to get Rene Valdez against Devin McDreamy, and then Tony Salsa against Connor Slater. So those are some big matchups there on October 1st and September 30th. Man, take a look one more time here at the standings. Wild card situation. One of these 2 teams needs to win twice. They can't split. If they split, you're just asking for the tiebreaker. So we got a lot of dramatic finishes happening here in the GGBL. And I think what we will do is we'll do the NL stuff first on Saturday night for game 161. That could really cement the NL wild card in one night. And then depending on kind of what happens, then we'll also get 1 game of the Nuggets and Cyclones to kind of set up the Sunday stream. And Sunday's going to be kind of like that if necessary type deal. So if necessary, we'll get more NL action, and then we'll get the next game of the Nuggets and Cyclones to determine the AL wildcard spot for AL number 3. AL wildcard team number 3. Hope that all made sense. It's a lot, I understand, but yeah, it's going to be a pretty crazy game 161 and game 162. I guess you could say I could just simulate game 161s right now, but where's the drama in that, right? It cuts the drama in half, basically. So I'll see you guys on Saturday night, potentially, more than likely, Sunday night, but we'll see how it all goes, and I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Leave a like if you like this thing. As always, thank you so much for watching, and peace.